Aquarius, how are you guys doing? As I was meditating to tune into channeling your energy for this collective, I just was drawn to the root chakra and feelings of pressure around supporting myself. How do I support myself, my loved ones, my business, my career in a way that honors it, and at which point is my independence excessive? How much support do I want to let in and ask for externally? I feel like that's where a lot of your questions are at the moment, Aquarius, where you in this position where you're always the one there supporting other people. You're always helping other people to erect their tents and to build their houses, build their homes, and to give life to something that is very vital to their survival and to their comfort and to their quality of life. But when it comes to you, you seem to be the one doing that by yourself for you. And I feel like at the moment you are more aware of the fact that it shouldn't all be on you, that you also need support, that you also deserve that. And when is it coming your way? I feel like perhaps there is a project, a business partner, or some sort of partnership in which you're supposed to be sharing the load, but it's not happening. And so that is what I'm picking up for you here. Okay, Aquarius, so I'm going to just check in with Spirit to see what Spirit wants to bring to you. This is a timeless reading. When you find it, if it resonates, that's when you're meant to find it. I'm going to look at what is happening for you in your spiritual life, and then I'm going to take a look at relationship. You can hold in mind or keep in mind which relationship in your life you would like guidance with or about, and use your guidance system to establish whether it is your story or not. If it doesn't fit for you, you can check the recent Pick a Pile reading that I did, that I posted, and you might want to see if any of your other placements come out. Okay. I always ask that you guys settle into your intuition. Ask your guides and keepers to guide you through the reading. It is a tarot reading. You want to see what Spirit has to say and communicate with you through the tarot. Okay, so if you're not interested in that, then you can move along. But if you are interested in this message, feeling drawn to it, trust your guides, trust your keepers. Alright, you've entered a sacred space. The archangels in the north, south, east, and west have their sacred flames burning. I give thanks to my guides and keepers, to your guides and keepers, for helping me to channel and read these messages, bringing them to you from a place of love. Okay. And I hope to communicate them with you in a way that you can understand and from a place of truth. All right? Okay. So Aquarius, that's definitely the energy that I picked up when I started tuning into your energy. If you are new here and you just happen to stumble on this video, welcome. I hope you enjoy the reading and that you find that it is uplifting and that it serves you in whichever way the universe means for it to serve you. And if you're returning, welcome back, guys. I hope you enjoy, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you've not done so yet. I appreciate all the support on my channel. Okay, let's see. So definitely feeling like an agreement was made in the past, a relationship was formed, a partnership of sorts was formed where you and somebody else came together and said, this is ours, this matters to the both of us, and let's take care of it. And now you're left taking care of it on your own. I feel like there's a lack of support in an area where it was supposed to. So with regards to what's happening, in relationship for you. I'm just going to split this deck. Aquarius, you might be finding that you're looking back on this relationship a lot. There's some sadness, and there's you looking back. And it's not because you're the kind of person that likes to obsess about the past. I think the energies of this new moon and the eclipse that's coming up, I think that's got a huge role to play at the moment. But wherever you find yourself and whenever you receive this reading, it's definitely, Spirit is definitely showing that it's got something to do with what is happening with your planetary alignments. It's just the energy of this time. It is a sort of looking in the rear view mirror, not because you want to live back there, no, but it's looking back to see how far I've come and to remember and to remind myself why I've made the decisions that I've made. Maybe you're doubting a decision you've made of late, or maybe you're reconsidering getting back with someone, or maybe you reconsidering making more of an effort in a particular relationship where you have felt unsupported and where you do feel unsupported, and maybe you're considering that in order to have the support, that maybe you need to give this person another chance. I feel like that is not going to happen. I feel like that is just a manipulation. But whatever it may be, you're thinking about this. Perhaps this person made a suggestion, responded to a request you made, and was like, well, it would be easier for me to help out if I was living closer. Or it would be easier for me to help out if things were not like this. Okay? Somebody's relationship with their business, their career, their kids, whatever, should not be conditional. And it's not your responsibility to make it convenient for them to show up where they're supposed to. Their commitment and their devotion is supposed to be unconditional, right? But they're sort of putting this onto you, and I feel like it's very narcissistic. Well, I'm not doing that because I'm the victim. And I'm the victim because of a choice you've made. What's happening in your spiritual journey? Let's see. What's happening on your spiritual journey right now? With regards to relationship, there is this unending sadness and sort of looking back into the rear view mirror. There's regret, a lot of regret coming up for you about things, perhaps choices you made, perhaps things that you tolerated, and feeling this grief. And I don't feel like it's just grief now. It's as if this grief is digging up things that happened in the past that you now realize in hindsight that you went through, that you put yourself through, that you endured for the sake of this situation. And now in hindsight, you're looking back and you're just feeling, it's like you're grieving it from, like, you're grieving it all over again. There's a lot of replaying the past and negative nostalgia. So if you've been in a partnership for a long period of time, and every time you've had an experience with this person within this business or whatever it is for you, you looked at the silver lining and moved forward with that, then now you're looking back and you're realizing that it was really bad. So negative nostalgia, I'm getting this vision of somebody paging through photo albums and going back through the history. And you know, like when you look at pictures, that picture has a different meaning for the person. That you can, it's almost, it sort of takes you back to the day and how you felt on that day and what was happening around that day, and your, you know, just where you were mentally. And so for you, it's more than a picture. It's like they say, a picture a picture says 1,000 words. And I'm getting this vision of somebody paging through photo albums and looking at pictures, but seeing and remembering details that tell a very different story to the smiles you see in the photos. And it's as if it just activates, it's you grieving for that version of yourself in that picture at that time, that didn't realize how unfairly she was being treated, or how she was being taken for granted, or how much she was putting up with, you know, that sort of thing. What's happening for you, Aquarius, on your spiritual journey? Your relationships, every relationship in your life, relationships with money, relationships with parents. Sorry about my dog's breathing loud. So he just went for a walk. Every relationship you have, your relationship with money, with friends, with family, career, lovers, husband, whatever, wife, is a representation of what is happening in your relationship with self. So your spiritual journey is at the heart of everything. Okay? So what is happening for you right now? Spiritually, you are finding yourself feeling more connected to non-human beings, nature, animals. Right now, you're finding that you're able to experience non-human interaction in such a profound and divine way. This is all part of your healing. This is all part of your journey. Feeling very, very drawn to the moon, very, very connected to nature and animals. You're finding animals and creatures come up to you, and you're curious about it. What does this mean symbolically? What is the message for me here? You are independent and free from the approval, the validation, and the inclusion provided to you from other human beings. You don't need that anymore. If anything, this relationship has given you the courage and the strength to find true energetic independence, not the false type of independence that is based in the fear that nobody else is gonna be there for me. I can't trust anybody else, so I gotta do everything on my own. But more, I don't need anybody else to be a specific thing in order for me to be happy. My worth does not depend on how many people show up for me. And my value is not based on how many likes I get and how many people reach out to send me a message of approval. That's a very different place to be. And this is where you find yourself. So definitely in the space of finding deeper, more meaningful connection, but at the same time allowing yourself to grieve and to look back on things and to revisit them in a way where you have more clarity and you can be fully present with yourself. And it's as if you're calling back parts of yourself from these different periods in your life where you just didn't know. So that's what I'm getting there. What else is it that what else for my Aquarius spirit? Thank you. On their spiritual journey. This is a great time for you to, if you've got the free time and you're wondering what else can I do to just tune into the energies right now to just make the most of where I'm at. It's a great time for you to volunteer at a animal shelter with animals. All the medicine you need is with nature. That's what Spirit says. And on your spiritual journey right now, the scales of balance. Interesting that this comes up for you because I'm doing this reading as we approach the Libra full moon. And I've got the scales of justice. There can be no justice if there is no balance. This is the message, and this is what you are beginning to see in so many different areas. This is the message that this is the energy you're embodying. This is what you are focusing on a lot of right now, and this is how the universe is supporting you as this divine feminine or divine masculine. The scales of justice, the scales are being balanced. And every now and then, what you want to keep in mind is every now and then on our journey, we will go through a process where the energy is being balanced, where the scales are being balanced, where justice is being served. Okay? And this happens whether you feel it is in your favor or not. What does it mean when justice is being served? A lot of people think that when we say, oh, justice is coming in, that it means right. The people who have done me wrong are going to pay the price. And because we automatically assume we're the one that's right. What it means is that you have free will. And whether you consider yourself right or wrong in a situation is irrelevant. How right have you been to yourself? What is the energy that you've been embodying? Have you spent, let's say your cycle is a year long, and for some people their cycles are 10 years. They don't even do, but now anybody in this timeline, there are no 5 to 10 year cycles anymore. Okay, the resonance of our planet is so elevated, the frequency has sped up so much that everything is happening at a rapid pace. So it is coming in quickly. And when you come to the conclusion of a cycle, whether it's a karmic cycle, whether it is a debt that you've had hanging over your shoulders and it's you coming to the point where it's being paid up, where you've been working towards having more balance in a particular relationship, and now it's getting to that point where that balance is coming in, things have been shifted in its place. The question you want to ask yourself to know what justice is you're going to be served is, what is the frequency I've held dominant? So regardless of what's been happening, have I seen myself in this cycle over the past year as the victim? Then that is the frequency that I'm going to close the cycle with. I'm going to close the cycle from the vantage point or the perspective of I'm a victim and I no longer want to be it. And it might seem unfair once again, but it is your karma. And if the other person, if the cycle is closing and the frequency they held most dominant was blame, then and anger and resentment, then they close the cycle on that basis. They then receive the blame for all. They carry the weight of that blame. They will carry the responsibility of it, and they will feel like everything is unfair. So it doesn't matter. It's not a question of, the universe does not deal us our karma based on whether we were good or bad. Our actions matter a lot less than the intention why, which is always based on the frequency, the energy. If I were to bring two people before you, this is just just to sort of help you understand what it is that I'm referring to. If I were to bring two people before you and I say, hey, this is John. John is a 60-year-old man, and he's raised 5 kids, and his kids love him very, very much. And John has recently been convicted of murder. Your automatic question is going to be, why? What has he done? And you will assume, you will not be surprised if I were to say it was self-defense, and you would believe it. And then I can bring Stephen, and Stephen is a 40-year-old man. Stephen's been married twice, and he had a wife and kids, and he's been convicted of murder. You'll also wonder why. If I were to say murder of his wife and kids, you would be more judgmental. You would not assume that, oh, shame, maybe it was self-defense, maybe it was an accident. You would assume, you would lean towards that the possibility that it was intentional and he was just a mean person. It's both murder, right? But the intention, the energy behind it does matter in the grander scheme of things, not because there is anybody keeping score of what you are doing and what you are not doing to judge you and to make you right or wrong. But we tend to think that's the case because that's what we've been taught predominantly through religious beliefs. And just because, I suppose, as human beings, we just want to believe that we live in a world where if you do bad things, because we don't like it when people do bad things to us, that someone's going to punish you. And if I do good things, then I'm going to be favored. But it doesn't work that way. We have many, many people who have done good things throughout. And I have people coming to me in their sessions saying, but Elif, I did this and I did that. And I'm like, it's irrelevant. What you chose to do for this person does not put a bind around their neck and force them to be good to you. They get to choose whether they want to give you that energy or not. And if you were doing it because you thought this is a bargaining relationship where if I'm good to you, you're going to be good to me, then you were not doing it open-endedly, I just want to be good to you. You were doing it to receive something in return. And whether you like it or not, that is manipulation. So it doesn't matter what we choose to do. It only matters why we choose to do it and what the belief behind that action is. I might be giving you my last because I'm afraid that if I don't do that when I need, no one's going to give it to me. So I'm actually doing it from a place of lack and fear, and not really from a place from freedom, you know. And what's happening for you right now is the scales are being balanced. And this is why you're spending this time, you're feeling compelled to look in the rearview mirror and take another look at how you treated yourself in some circumstances and situations, how you put yourself in certain positions for the sake of another person or for the sake of others that now you might choose to do differently, knowing what you know. But what matters is the intention why you did it, you know? At the time, you were doing it from a place of love or from a place of fear, of being desperate not to be alone or whatever the case may be. And that's the kind, you're dealing with that now. Okay. Let's take a look at relationship. What is it that's happening in this relationship at the moment? I feel like this person's trying to bargain with you, and honestly I feel like they're trying to manipulate you to hold you responsible for their shortcomings so that you can give them another chance or borrow them more money or whatever the case may be. But let's see. what is happening is that this is not the kind of situation where you decide, okay, I don't want to do this with you anymore. Let's go our separate ways, and you don't ever see this person again. There are timelines, and you're going to be experiencing this throughout this year. It could be there are going to be specific dates where where something's going to come up, and you're going to have to close that door. So perhaps it's going to be something happening in their life and them expecting you to show up for them and to fix that problem, and you're going to have to be like, no, this is not the situation anymore, I'm not doing this anymore. Or where you have perhaps a mortgage together, and where this person is constantly coming, and perhaps they've moved out, but they're constantly just showing up and creating havoc and disrespecting you and overstepping boundaries just to stir things up, and you getting to that point at okay, it's time to sell this house. I'm just making an example. I'm not saying that is what it is, but this separation is going to be one that you have to be patient with. It's one of those things where you sweep the floor and you think you've swept it, and then one door opens and dust blows in, and then you got to sweep it again, and it feels like all you're ever doing is sweeping this floor, and will it not ever stay clean? What a lot of people think happens when you separate from someone, and this could be a divorce, is once I tell this person to leave, once we've signed the papers, it's done. When I got divorced, I found that 10 years later, I was still dealing with the consequences and the trauma and the struggles of choosing to be in that relationship in the first place. I was still having to fight with my boss to get time off so that I can show up at a court early, so that I can try and get them to get the paperwork done, so that they can try and get help me to get maintenance for my children. And then having to do that the second or the third time because nothing's happened, or this person said they're going to do this and they've just not bothered. And the bills still have to be paid, and they still have to be fed, and they've still got to get into school, and just feeling the weight of how did I ever find myself in this situation with this person that is just so careless and so irresponsible when it comes to, like, how are people so irresponsible and careless when it comes to their kids? And feeling the overwhelming weight of still dealing with trauma of things that had come up, and of trying to maintain my mental health when when I'm just getting by meeting the basic needs of my kids. So taking care of myself is nowhere on the table, nowhere near. And perhaps looking at purchasing a new house, but it being such a challenge because I lost my house when my ex-husband when his gambling came to light, and I ended up losing my house because of his gambling problem. But the point is just it being like this dark cloud that just follows you everywhere, that you can't shake. And you think, like, I thought my life was going to move on after this person, but somehow they just keep popping up. And that's what I'm feeling here. And Spirit wants you to know that closing this out is not going to happen all at once. And even if it feels heavy for you, and there will be times when you feel despondent, but it's not what it seems. You are making progress. Every time you have another opportunity to revisit the subject and to close another door with this person, you moving up the scale, you making progress. And one day you're going to open your eyes, and this is going to be so far behind you that you're going to feel nothing but peace. But it is going to be a process, and it is going to take time. Okay. So that's what I'm seeing there. Okay. Right, let's see what else. What else is it that my Aquarius would benefit from knowing in this connection and this relationship? What is happening with this person at this time? Let's see. Okay. So this person is focused, very, very fiery, very focused on getting things done, having the outcomes that he wants or she wants, that they're a little bit impulsive and making decisions without planning and thinking it through properly. I feel like you were always the person in the relationship that would do that. And they don't realize the skill and the expertise that it takes to put together a good plan before executing it, and how important timing is. And the only thing that this person is concerned with right now is victory. They want to make sure that they strike while the iron is hot, so that they have the most out of the situation. And it makes them hasty and impulsive and a little bit like, you might be feeling like, what's going on with this person? Now it's this again. Now they want to do that again. Now they're doing this again. Now they want to sell that. Those things were standing in the garage for like 10 years. Now suddenly they want to sell it. Now suddenly they're like, what's going on? This person is afraid of shortage, and they're trying to take whatever action they can away from that. You very much in their passionate energies. So what that means is they could be playing more of a sport they like. They could be doing more activities. They could be going to gym because now suddenly they want to look good. And this person could be very sexually focused. Okay, and where are you at right now, Aquarius? We've got the Lovers in reverse, where you're definitely looking at what you saw in this person, and the value you placed on love, and the high price you paid for it, and how many times how this relationship flourished when you were giving and pouring into this person. And the moment that you started to put yourself first, which any person who is truly in love with you would not have a problem with you putting yourself first, with you understanding how important your well-being is, with you understanding how important your growth is, they would not have an issue with this. But the moment you put yourself first, this relationship, this connection, this marriage, whatever it is, it fell apart. It just went in an unwanted direction. Okay. So this person is very, very focused on striking while the iron is hot. Possibly got that impulsive energy with you too, maybe trying to seduce you or trying to do things to gain you back. Just taking impulsive action just because they don't want to end up at a loss, or suddenly wanting to get money out of policies or out of the business or whatever the case may be, because they just want to make sure that they don't end up empty-handed. What is this about? I feel like somebody's whispering in your person's ear. and they are not paying attention. I think somebody older, it could be an older brother, an older friend, it could be a mum or a dad, it's an older person whispering in their ear, and they are just listening to it because this person is older or whatever, but they're totally forgetting who they're talking to. They totally forget. So, for example, imagine I have a mom and she's suddenly giving me advice about my divorce, but she's never been married. She's never had a family in that way, and she's never been divorced. Perhaps her guidance and her advice is coming from a personal agenda. Maybe it's coming from fear, and it's based on things she's heard from people, sources that I don't know. So I don't know if those are the kinds of sources I want to listen to. I would be wiser to speak to people who are experienced in a way that where they've, someone knows when they're talking about if they've made a success in that area. Don't take advice from people when they know nothing about it. And I feel like this person here has an agenda. Okay, and for you, you're in a place of grieving. You're putting something to rest. You're putting something to rest. You're treating this like a death, where you want to grieve it, mourn it, bury it properly and honor it, because to you, this has been a profound aspect of your life and of your journey. So you're in a place with this where you are fully present with the impact and with the choice you've made. And your person is in this impulsive, egoic place where they are just impulsively taking action, and it's fire. So there's anger, in the belly, and they're taking their actions and their decisions and they're processing from that place. By the time this person gets to a place where they are quiet enough to process this, it's going to be like a huge wave for them. It's going to flatten them in a sense. But that's their process, that's their choice. For you, this relationship was built into your paradise, into your Eden, and you're having to release that and let that go. It's not easy. And you're fully present with it, feeling everything. Okay. What is the outcome to expect for this person with the energy that they're in? Where's this going? Okay, and for my Aquarius, okay, lots of swords here. Aquarius, you're going to try and do this gracefully, I know, but I want you to be aware that this person is not going to make that easy moving forward. There's a lot of swords here, lots of conflict, lots of ego, and I think that the reason why this person of yours is in this energy of trying to, it's like, I'm seeing this person that realizes that they have been caught out and they've been kicked out of their house, and they know where the money's stored, and they're trying to gather as much as they can before anybody comes back and arrests them or shoots them, that kind of thing, that energy. There's a lot of swords here, and it's going to feel like a bit of a war. It's going to feel like a war. I'm not going to lie to you, because there's going to be a lot of conflict. And what your person knows is that they've gotten the best from you, and they know that when you're cold, they do not want to experience that other side of you, and that's what they're going to experience. Where you are not going to leave any survivors on the battlefield. You're not leaving any survivors on the battlefield. And it terrifies them because they know that they want to declare war every step of the way. And I think they're going to try and navigate that carefully, but there are just some things in their personality and in their character that they cannot cut out, not this quickly. You've been asking them to cut the head of the snake, the head of the beast, and they've not done it. And they know that they cannot expect any mercy from you, and if they declare war on you, it's going to be brutal. All right. This is why Spirit says this is the best time for you when you feel like these things are coming up. Trust your intuition, which is always guiding you back into nature. This is why you are in solitude with nature so much. This is why you are taking the opportunity to reconnect in this loving place where nothing is expected from you. Here's the message. The natural world needs you. The natural world needs you. And that's how you're going to get through this, Aquarius. It's the healing energy from nature. It's rebalancing yourself all the time. It's cleansing away all of the residual energy from the battles that you're going to have to face with this person. But remember, it's not going to last forever, and this provides you with an opportunity for such powerful personal growth, not only for you but for this person too. Okay. I hope that this encourages you. I hope that you have a clear, you feel okay about, for somebody to say, oh, it's not just going to be over. You've built up all this courage and you've made this massive decision to walk away from something that has been a big part of your life. And you're not just going to have peace. It's a little bit of a heavy message for me to give you, but I don't think you're not going to have peace. You are peace, Aquarius. This person, the closing of the cycle, for example, if you're 100% of your relationship exists, right, and 80% of it was lived out in this relationship, there's another 20% that is left for you to process and clear out for the cycle to be closed. And that's all this means. You are peace. Remember that. Don't allow what this person brings to you, what this person brings before you, to be an indication of who you are or where you are at. Just because you feel it doesn't make it so. And a lot of people base the truth about who they are and where they are on their feelings, on how they feel about something that's happened. You are not an experience, you are not a circumstance, and you are most definitely not how somebody treats you. I think you already know this. It's just that Spirit wants you to know that what you are going through, what you have been going through, and the road ahead is known, and that you will not be alone, and to give you the best heads up so that you don't find yourself feeling totally lost and having a complete panic attack and breakdown when you're in the dark room because the thought crosses your mind, what if this is life now? That's when this message needs to come to you and be like, it's not going to be life. Take a breath, enjoy it, and then the door will just open up and you'll step out. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading, Aquarius, and whatever you're facing right now, if this message resonates with you, please comment, let me know how. But whatever you're facing right now, You are loved, you are guided, you are protected, you are covered, and even this serves you, and you will feel that in the days to come. Maybe not in the days to come, you'll feel it bit by bit in the days to come, but you will feel it on a massive scale in the weeks and months to come. Okay? If you'd like to get a personal reading, perhaps you'd like for me to take a closer look at your situation. This is a general message, so it's not going to resonate with everybody. But if you'd like to take a closer look, you're welcome to contact me. I can do a personal reading for you. And if you'd like some spiritual life coaching, spiritual guidance on your journey, how to navigate these things and how to allow the laws of the universe to work in your favor, just to take everything, all the elements that are here for you, and how to line up with them in a way that makes the whole journey and process easier for you, you're welcome to contact me. Okay, whatever you choose to do, do what is best for you. Love and light. I'll chat to you guys next time. Bye now.